last part of section 1-4, and then we are going to start a practice quiz, which will tell you what your quiz will be like. And then tomorrow, you are going to get a second practice quiz that you will see the whole thing, and at that point, you should know if you're ready for the quiz or not. Anything that's on that practice quiz you don't know how to do, tomorrow and today are the days to learn that, okay? So first we're gonna learn just the last part of section 1-4. And I'll tell you guys this too. Normally when I do this lesson, we would do some kind of a review game, but I can't do that here because I don't trust some of you. Okay? Which is really unfortunate too.
What type of review game? Just the one with the basketball hoop.
Oh, is it the one we did on the first one?
Oh, wait.
All right. All right, everybody listen up, okay? So today what we're gonna do is we are going to learn how to measure angles with protractors, and we're gonna look at, also looking at like angles as if they're right, acute, or obtuse, okay? So first of all, when you guys have a protractor, there are two different number scales on that protractor. Yes?
I know how they work. So the ones that's the lower numbers is your first one, your second one is the other one.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right, quiet down. If you guys look at this angle right here, okay, does that angle look bigger than 90 degrees or less than 90?
It looks a little
Less, right? So would you guys say this is a 50-degree angle or a 130-degree angle?
A 50.
It's a 50, okay? So what's gonna happen today when you're measuring these is you're gonna have to be able to tell which of those two we are going to use, okay? And this is what I tell you. If it is less than straight up and down, less than 90 degrees, you use the smaller number. If it is bigger than 90 degrees, we use the larger number, okay? Now, this would be something that if, you know how you guys have those handwritten notes for chapter 1? If you are somebody that doesn't know this, this would be something you could write in your notes. But do you guys all know that a right angle has 90 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been told that if you have a right angle, it has a little box in the corner?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
What's the warmest part of a room?
I don't know.
The corner, because it's always 90 degrees.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, listen up. So when we look at this, you guys, Sander, please. When we look at this, from after today, we can never assume a angle is 90 degrees unless it has that box in the corner, okay? Now, let me ask you guys this. If you had a situation like this, where this angle is straight up like that, and this is 90 degrees, does anyone know how we could find that angle?
Yeah, I mean, can you subtract 360 from 90, right? Or, sorry, 360 minus 90?
Not 360,
180.
but 180.
Thank you, Lane, for
180 minus 90. Do you guys all agree a straight line is 180?
Yes.
180 minus 90 is 90. So one of the things you have to know in this class is if you have a straight line and one angle is 90, the other one is too. Okay? Now, do you guys know the difference between acute and obtuse? Acute is when an angle is less than 90. Everybody get that? Obtuse is greater than 90. Everybody understand the difference there? Okay. All right. Now we are going to try to measure these angles, and we're gonna not only say how many degrees it is, but we're gonna say what type it is. Okay. So mine, I'm gonna bring up here. Now everybody has a protractor that has a half moon on it with a line straight up and down. Where that line comes down, you guys, that is where you put it on the vertex of your angle. Okay? Bless you. Where that line comes straight down, that's what you put on the vertex of the angle. Now the first angle they want us to find, we would actually not even need a protractor for, because if you look at angle MJP, do you guys see there's a 90-degree box in there?
Yeah.
Right?
I see it.
So all we would say is this is 90 degrees, and do you guys get that means it's right?
Yeah.
Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the next one we're gonna do is angle LJP. So it goes from here to here. I don't have to move my protractor, but if you guys look at where JL kind of goes through here, do you guys think it goes through either at like 75-ish or 105-ish?
105.
Right? Which one do we use and why?
The bigger angle because it's bigger than 90.
Very good. You use the bigger angle because this angle is bigger than 90 degrees. Okay? So we use 105 and it is obtuse. Okay? All right, now let's look, and we have NJP. Here's N, here's J, here's P. This goes through, do you guys agree it's either 20 or 160? Which one makes more sense? 20 because this is a small angle, right? So this, do you get that? About 20 degrees. And by the way, if it's 20 and you said 25 or 15, as long as you're in that ballpark, like 5 degrees less or 5 degrees more, you're fine. So that's 20 degrees. And what kind is that then?
Acute.
Acute. Okay?
So what's acute? Less than 90?
Less than 90, yes. Okay?
Oh, when you're acute.
All right, now we have, guys, now we have this one down here. So take your protractor
Bless you.
and you are gonna line it up again so that where that line comes down in your like semicircle lines up right with your vertex of that angle, vertex F. Now, what we're gonna do is kind of spin that protractor.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Can you wait till I'm done?
5 minutes.
Okay. Now, mine isn't looking too swell here. Okay, let's look at that. So the first one says angle AFB. If you guys look, this is a straight line. FC, this is a right angle. And AFC, what angle would this be over here?
90.
Yes, if this is 90, that makes this 90. Okay? So this one is 90 degrees and it's right. Okay? Now what it's asking us for is angle CFA. Okay? CFAF, oh wait, CFA is down here actually. I'm sorry. This is 90, this is right. Okay? It's because this box is there. If CFE is right, that makes CFA right, so that would make this a 90-degree angle
I
also.
catch you.
Okay. Now it says angle AFB. Xander, if you want to stay back there, you need to zip it. Okay? What?
I'm hungry.
Well, that doesn't mean we need to talk.
Hungry for math.
All right. So the first one is AFB. So let's look at this. AFB looks to me like it's going through 160 or 20. Which one makes sense?
20.
20. And then what kind is that?
Cute.
It is acute. Okay?
What? This one.
It's supposed to be at 2 bucks.
Okay, hurry. AFB is 20. Do you get that?
No.
Did you look right here? AFB, it goes through at either 20 or 160.
Why is it 160?
Because this is a small angle. And when it's a small angle, you use the smaller one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Now they're asking us for AFD. Okay? AFD goes from here all the way to here. Okay? AFD. Now that angle, what is that going to be?
115, maybe? About?
Yes. Do you guys agree it's bigger than 90, right? And if it's bigger than 90, what kind is it? Obtuse. Now, we're going to write obtuse, and it's 115-ish. Now, if you put 120 or 125, you're fine. Okay? Now, this one is a little bit harder because, Riley, because when we look at this one, we're doing CFD. Okay? So CFD is this angle. And for me to measure that angle, I have to turn my protractor. So I am going to turn it either so that this lies along this side, or I can turn it so that this down here lies along this side. And I'm looking for CFD. That looks to me like it's 25, right? So if I said 25, you guys, what kind of angle is that?
Acute.
Acute. And if you said 30, that's fine too. Okay? Do you guys get that?
Yeah.
All right. Now we have one page left where we're going to talk about something new, but there's no example on this. So here's the deal. Do you guys remember learning the word congruent? What does congruent mean? Somebody said equal, right? Equal is correct. Same size, same length, same measure. Any of those are good. Okay? Okay. All right. So this is how we write that two angles are congruent. We'd say angle A, B, C, and then this is our congruent symbol to angle D, E, F. Okay? Then what I do is I have to say the measures are equal. When I go to write this as the measures, they write a little m in the front. So this means the measure of angle ABC equals the measure of angle DEF. So this means the angles themselves are congruent, which means same measure. This means the measure of angle ABC equals the measure of angle DEF. Now, when you mark them on a diagram, the first pair of angles that you want to mark, you can use one arc. So if you notice, I have this arc and this arc, those two are congruent. They do not have to say how many degrees those two are, okay? You can just say they're congruent or they can mark that. Now, if you notice, this angle has two arcs and this angle has two arcs, so those two are congruent. If you had a third pair of angles that were congruent, you would have three arcs, okay? Later this year, just so you know, we're gonna be doing something with congruent triangles. So say this is ABC and this is DEF. We're gonna go ahead and write down what angles are congruent. So let's say they told us A and D were congruent. We would use one arc on those. If they said B and E were, we'd use two arcs. If they said C and F were, we would do three arcs. Do we get that? Everybody understand that? Okay, then we also talked, I think on Friday, about something called a bisector of a segment. Do you guys remember what I said bisect means?
To split in half.
To split in half, very good. So if I had an angle like this, you guys, and I drew a ray that cut that angle in half, that would mean this is congruent to that, okay? So let's say this is A, B, C, and D. Do you guys get that we could say angle A, B, D, A, B, D, and then congruent is that symbol, and then angle D, B, C. Okay, so that's what to bisect means, right? So now, here's what we're gonna do for our assignment. I'm gonna give you a practice quiz, and we're gonna do some of the problems together in class. So that's part of your homework, okay? Okay.
So our homework is the practice.
I don't think she sneezed.
Logan, don't forget to smile.
Wait,
I'm crying right
a
now.
review for the practice.
Logan.
And then you're gonna have a second practice quiz tomorrow. So I'm hoping by Wednesday, you guys do well on your quiz, okay? Today's Monday.
Oh my god, it's magical. I want my school.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Can I go to the bathroom?
You said Sunday.
What?
There's two people out of the room.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so please listen up. We are going to answer some of these questions together so that we know how to do this for the test, okay? If you guys look over the first page, do you feel pretty confident that you could do those types of problems? Is there any that you would like me to do on that first page? You guys feel okay about the first page? Tell me one if you look at it.
Number
is it-
one.
Number one. Okay, let's look at number one, you guys. This is exactly what your test is gonna look like. The only difference is same amount of questions. The only difference is the diagrams would be different or the numbers would be different. This says, name the intersection, which means where they meet, of angle A and angle B. Where do they touch? Q. All we have to write here, guys, is Q. Okay? Now, any others that you see that you might have questions on that page? We're good? Okay, let's go here. Here is where we have to draw some figures,
Yeah,
okay?
number 5 is fucking over.
Number 5,
Yeah, my bad.
okay?
And
God, you're backward.
Once Lane gets back.
I just forgot what coplanar
Okay,
is.
coplanar means in the same plane.
Oh.
So we have F, E, A, and C. Could you draw one plane that contains all of those points?
No, but you can do it in 2.
Yes. So coplanar means they're all in the same plane. So here's one that I could draw, but C's not in that. So Tyler, do you get that's no?
Wait, what's going on?
Tyler.
Like this is one plane,
Yeah,
but
on the
C's
sides,
not in
yeah.
there.
C,
So
but yeah.
because of that, it's no. Okay?
I get what you're saying.
All right, let's go to the next page.
Oh,
Right
wait,
here.
I got one more on this page.
Yep.
6.
Number 6. Let's look at number 6, you guys. So this says, name the intersection of plane EBC. Here's EBC. With plane with plane W, which is here. Okay? So this is like if you had a trigonal, that would be a trigonal prism, triangular prism, and that was sitting on that plane. Do you guys get, you gotta think of this three-dimensionally, so think of the plane here and the triangular prism up. Where they would intersect is this right here. Okay? Logan?
I'm hoping.
Oh, okay. So that would be B, C, and it really should be a line above it. If you put a segment above it, it's not really wrong.
Why to the left?
Okay?
Yeah, why's the arrow to the left?
It's actually both ways.
Oh.
Okay? But if you put it as this, you guys, if you just went B, C with a bar above it, I wouldn't mark that wrong. Okay? Now, let's go to this page, and I'm gonna pick one. Okay, let's look at number 8. On these, you have to draw it out and label. Do you guys remember me talking about when you have a plane and a line, the line can lie on the plane or it can stab through the plane. This one says line CD intersects plane R at single point T. See how it says it intersects at a single point?
This is where you need to draw
That
the shape,
means,
right?
yep, that means it's stabbing through. So here's what we're gonna draw. We draw our plane as a crooked rectangle. Then we have that plane, by the way, is plane R, so you should put an R in one of the corners. And it says line CD intersects plane R at single point T. So this is what it should look like. It's stabbing through the plane because it intersects only at a single point T. These dashes are important. If you didn't have them there, it would be wrong. And then it says that's line CD. So somewhere on this line I need a C, somewhere I need a D, and then that would be done, okay? All right, do you guys remember what it looks like when planes don't intersect?
Yeah, it's just literally 3 of those.
Yeah, it's just like this, and then they can't touch. Everybody get that?
I'm kind of confused on 7.
Well, I'm gonna keep going, and then if you have additional questions, we can come back, okay? Everybody go to this page,
What page is this?
okay? This says, find the value of X and RS. If S is between, actually I should draw this up more. if S is between R and T. Now, on this one, you guys, S can be anywhere along that line. You can't assume it's halfway in between. Okay? Now, here's what this says. From R to S is 5x. From S to T is 3x. And from R to T is 48. Do you guys get how I would do that problem then? Anyone see what I would do? What would I do with those two?
You
Add them.
and then equals 48.
Very
Add
good.
those and then divide.
So I would go 5x plus 3x equals 48. What's 5x plus 3x? 8x equals 48. Divide by 8. And x is 6.
And then it's R.
That is one of our answers then. And then we have to find RS. So if I'm finding RS, do you guys get RS right here is 5 times x? What's 5 times 6?
30.
30. And that's your answer. Do we get that? Okay. Now let's look down here. Now on this, there's going to be a lot of different types of problems, and I'm going to do one from each type. And then you can go back, and once I do one, I would write out how I'm doing it, and then hopefully you can do it from there. So here's what we're gonna write. Right here, we're gonna say count loops. Now, on your quiz on Wednesday, if you wanted me to go through and tell you from 17 to 20 count loops, I would tell you that, okay? So let's say that I am doing number 19. It asks me to find the distance from J to N. Do you guys remember counting loops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody remember that? Okay, so this answer is going to be 10. Does that make sense? Are you able to do the rest then on that section? Okay. Now let's go to this page. When you're finding distance between 2 points, there's 2 ways I showed you guys. One was distance formula, and the other one, do you guys remember what the other one was? Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to give you a second to come up and grab a piece of graph paper, because I think a lot of you do Pythagorean theorem. So do you guys want to get up and grab a piece of graph paper? That'll give you, yeah, anyone that wants it. That'll give you a second to stretch your legs.
Logan, you're grabbing with me. No, my legs. I don't like to stretch my legs, so I can't. No. Thank you, Carson. Logan, you're fake. Carson.
Hey.
Logan's fake for that.
All right, are we good? Okay. All right. Everybody listen. So, do a lot of you like to use Pythagorean theorem? Okay. Do you remember, and you guys have graph paper, I don't exactly have that, but I can still show you the gist of what you're doing. So if you do this the day of the quiz, you're gonna just grab a sheet of graph paper, plot the 2 points, and make the triangle. So if we look here, it's 4, -3. Do you guys all agree that's 4, -3? Okay. The next one is -2, so left 2, up 2 right here. Okay. Now do remember that we did this. Everybody understand we did that? And we counted loops again. So counting down the side, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? Yes, this is 5. And then counting loops across, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. Okay? Now, do you guys remember what the formula for Pythagorean theorem was? Very good. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay? So A and B don't matter. We're always finding C. So this is A, this is B. Okay? So A is 5 squared. B is 6 squared, and C is what I'm looking for, okay? Now, here's what I want you guys to type into your calculator. Go 5 squared plus 6 squared, okay? 5 squared plus 6 squared, and what did you get? 61 is correct. Now, that is C squared. So what do I have to do? Square root. Very good. Square root. So what is the square root of 61? 7.81. Very good. And let's round to 2 decimal points like that. Okay? All right. Let's go down and do one more. Let's look here. This wants us to find midpoint on that segment.
Wait, you only count to 1 now?
No, I'd actually rather you do 2, but I wouldn't count that wrong. Like if you put 7.8, I wouldn't count that wrong. All right, this one says to find the midpoint between J and P, okay? You guys have notes, bless you, for how you find the midpoint on your chapter 1 notes, but does this look familiar? Okay, and what we had to do when we put it in is we either had to put parentheses around it or we said enter. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, this is my J, this is my P, those are my X's. So I'm gonna say -7 plus 5 all over 2. What's -7 plus 5? And what's -2 divided by 2? 1. Did you guys get that? So your answer here is 1. When you put this in your calculator, guys, either do parentheses or hit enter. Okay? Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop there because I've been talking a long time. Tomorrow I will teach one from each section on the rest of it. What I would like you guys to do is as much of this practice quiz as you can. And then tomorrow I'll answer questions on the ending of it that you have. Okay? That's your assignment. Do the best you can on the part that's left. Do you need questions? Yes.
Now run this some uses.
Yes. What was that?
I will.
You're gonna be good.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay?
Have a great day.
You too, Logan.
Alright, so it's parking. We have to finish all this before we come to class tomorrow.
Do your best. best to.
So we don't have to go to work.
I know,
Try
I know,
to.
yeah, no. It's 7.
Mine's S, N, M,
What do you mean, what happened?
You had it right. You would just label that point as P.
Dang, I did it.
Oh wait, you don't need to draw this.
It's gonna take this. 3 is 4.2.
Allie, what'd you get for characters?